Hey everyone, this is Matt, and today we are going to be unboxing a ton of master grade Gunpla kits, specifically from Japan. Actually, one box is from China, but this is going to be all recorded throughout June. Right now it's literally June 2nd, so this is my first box. There's only I think about 6 or 7 in here. So let's dive in and get some of these opened. So there will be a few other things that aren't Gunpla related in here. Have fun with you. Have fun with me. Wow, have fun with you. Great, I will have fun with me. That'll be amazing. And put those over there. So yeah, there is one thing in here that isn't Gunpla related. It's a game from, I think I can see it right there, from the Trail series, specifically this is Ao no Kiseki? It might be Ao no Kiseki, we'll see. But I won't go over that in this video because it's not Gundam related, so I'll just pull it out and skip over it. If anyone just wants to skip to the end to see me dive into the boxes, every single Gunpla box specifically on the desk, you can do that by going to the chapters under the video. Or if you just want to skip to the very end to see a showcase of all the kits I got, you can do that as well. It looks like the first kit we're going to take out is an Exia kit, which is one of my favorites. So we have some stuff there, and there is the game in question. That does look like Ao no Kiseki because I believe I already have the similar box for Zero. So yeah, anyway, not going to go over that because that's game stuff. Everything else in here is Gunpla or Gunpla tool building related, so we can dive in. So we have some Gundam markers in here. So 3 sets of Gundam markers. Oh, we have my airbrush as well. More on that in future videos when I start my Gundam painting journey. That'll be fun. Yeah, so we have some different Tamiya masking tapes. We have a 6, a 3, and a 10mm. A little green packet here. And I think this is it for the tools and stuff, so we are just going to be fully onto kits after this. And these are some God Hand nippers, the plastic off the spears, and then you can use a nice finishing nipper like this, which I don't really have. I've been using some pretty bad ones, actually. By the looks of things, you may have already noticed it in the background. Gundam Exia Dark Matter. So it's got wrapping around it. There we go. That is some nice looking box art. And then inside we have everything, and the manual is in there as well. Again, I'll do a deeper dive on all of these kits towards the end of the video. Oh, this is another Exia. Wow, 2 for 1. This is a P Bandai. Let's try not to destroy the Japanese newspaper too much. This is the Amazing Exia from P Bandai, which is great. Let's have a quick look in here. There's some damage there, but that's fine. It's just the there we go. Just the cardboard corner here of the box has come out, but towards the end of the video, when I do the deeper dives on all of these kits, I'll talk about the prices I paid for all of these, because I got them pretty cheap overall. This was one of the more pricier kits actually, because it's weirdly gone up in price, but I suppose a lot of P Bandai kits have because of their limited run. And finally, in this packet here, before we get down to that stuff below, is Kyrios. There we go. There's Kyrios. I'm a big 00 fan. All of these kits I've pulled out so far are technically 00 kits, although the Exias are build fighter versions. There we go. Kyrios. Let's keep going. Now, the eagle-eyed among you may have seen, oh my god, this is so heavy, the next set of kits. I'm grateful for the protective packaging. Oh, that is a heavy kit. That is the MGEX Unicorn. So I got this for really, really cheap. Again, I'll talk about it later, but the price I got for this at the LEDs cost me not much compared to the actual list price revealed with the FAZZ, or the FAZZ. There it is. And if I can get my hands under it, there we go. Yep, it is all in there by the looks of things. So I think there is just one more, I think, and that is the XS. The XS/S Gundam. And there we go. That is a nice box art on that. I do like that one a lot. See if we can pop the top off. There we go. A lot of big kits in there. 3 very big kits. So the next box I open, we will cut to now. It'll be a few weeks later, no doubt, but there we go. Okay, and another delivery has arrived. It's about a week later. My dog is joining for this section, clearly. So this is the box I mentioned earlier from China. Let's get it open. Okay, let's see if this goes okay. There we go. And we have a lot of packing and a lot of kits in there. Not that many though, there's only about 4 or 5 kits in here. We'll talk about why that is, but I did mention earlier that I did get a box from China. Everything else is coming from Japan, but this is the one from China. We have another Kyrios, which I won't go over because we got a Kyrios in the first box, but let's take a look what is in this one. It is the Shin Musha Gundam. So I've actually been wanting this kit for pretty much as long as I can remember, but when I fell out of Gundam I kind of didn't think about it anymore, but here we are, finally got it. Shin Musha Gundam. I believe this is the kind of special version with a bunch of, yeah, there's like a backdrop in here, a bunch of cool stuff, weapon parts. Put this back away. And onto the next one. Okay, so I can see one of these is packed in bubble wrap and the other one isn't. So let's grab the one that isn't, as it'll be slightly easier to look at. I don't know if you can see that. A little dinged up, but that's fine. It's only for me, so it doesn't matter as long as everything inside is okay. Which, yeah, looks like it is. And this is, of course, Dynames, which is one of the kits I've been really excited to build, another 00 kit that I've been super, super excited for. And he's really expensive. He's really hard to get hold of. He's from 2019, I guess, as well. And just somewhat difficult to get hold of. I definitely wanted to do Dynames, Virtue, and Kyrios. Virtue comes out later this year. So there we go. Let's see what else is in here. I think that might be it. Oh, there is one final master grade kit in here, and that is the Gouf. I really do not know how to pronounce this one, but the Gouf Custom. This guy. There we go. You can see that. This guy, which is an interesting unit from the enemy side. So there we go. Everything is in there. I'll be doing some custom building with some Zakus actually, but I saw this for pretty cheap in China, so I thought I would pick it up. Okay, there's a couple of extra little things in here that I will unbox super, super quick. A bunch of LED units that I got. So we have some decal sheets, water-slide decal sheets for Dynames and Kyrios in there. But then these are really cool. I just dropped something. So these are little bases that I've got for both Dynames and Kyrios. Hopefully they do one for Virtue as well. I'll put one of these together properly and show you what it looks like later in the video. What is this? I didn't order this. What is this? What is this? I don't even know what that is. Well, in here we got some Madworks sanding paper with different grits. These are really good sizes. We got some grinding plates so you can put your sanding sticks on these. Again, Madworks. Okay, a few other little things in the box. Scribing tape in here. This is Madworks, what they refer to as carving guide tape. We know it as scribing tape. Okay, and this is Fortune Meow resin kit. Fortune Meow resin kit. This is for Dynames. I already have one for Kyrios, but there's a quick glimpse at some of the resin right there, which looks really good. This is going to be a really fun one for Dynames to put together. There we go. So there's Dynames on it. But there we go. That is it. I don't think there is anything else in this box. Other than that, I guess we'll go to the big unboxing next, so stay tuned for that. Okay, and here we are with some more boxes. Here are 2 more, and actually it's not just 2 we're going to be opening, but 3 more boxes to finish off the video's unboxing section. So let's get started on these. Okay, and into the first one. This one seems quite heavily sellotipped. Okay, and in we go with box number 1, or technically I guess 3 in this video, but you can already see some things on the top. So we got some action bases. These are action base 1s, but I also got some action base 4s for the first time, so I'll go check those out as well. If you want to see those, we've got the black and the clear versions. I have some grey action base 1s, but I wanted to get some black ones as well. And here are some of the action base 4s that I wanted to get, because I quite liked that they were laid out in this sort of hexagonal format. That was quite cool. Got some of those in clear, and also some of those action base 4s in black as well. Okay, well, you can already see a few things peering out of the top of this box. We'll start right here with a Tallgeese II, which is a P Bandai kit. Let's take a quick peek inside. See, I always try to go for the manual. There we go. Well, I'll be building those pretty standard out of the box, but I also have 2 of the standard version of Tallgeese right here, which I actually managed to get really cheap, some of them in double packs. And these are actually, see, this one's got a little bit of wear and tear from being pretty old, but I'm going to be doing a custom build, a custom paint build of one of these. But there is the original Tallgeese. One of these is going to become black and metallic red, which is going to look pretty cool. And I'll just quickly unpack the other Tallgeese. So after a wave of Tallgeese, let's do the Age 1 Normal. And there it is, the Age 1 Normal. This is an interesting kit because I haven't actually seen the Age series or anything like that, and I know it's a little bit of a, let's say, divisive series. The Age 1 actually looks really interesting, and they added a bunch of cool details to it in the MG kit. We dive down here to the bottom, so I thought I'd pick that one up. Again, pretty cheap. So I'm currently trying to make my way into the box of the Age 2, but there is the Age 2 Normal. Let's do a quick check in here. There it is. Manual on top is how I like it. This all seems to be pretty good. Let's check out, what are we going to do next? Let's pull out the Sengoku Astray from Build Fighters. A lot of red parts. Now, I've actually never built, I have a couple of Astrays coming. I've never built an MG Astray before. I have the PG red frame, but I do not have any MG, so that'll be fun. And next we will pull out the Duel Gundam Assault Shroud, which is in this plastic wrap, and there we go. This is a Gundam Seed kit, which actually I've wanted for a while, and I again picked up pretty good. I love the blue and the orange coloring on this one. It's really, really nice. Again, later in the video, I'll do deeper dives on all of these kits and open them all individually. Okay, so next is an interesting one. You'll see me unpack another one of these at some point. This is the MG expansion parts kit from P Bandai for the Barbatos, and 2 expansion sets. So one of those will be customized as well. So, you know, if you want to see that sort of stuff, let me know. But there is some of the parts, some decals. Nice. And of course, the instructions right there. There we go. So let's take a look in this one real quick. Some pretty interesting looking clear red parts there. Where is... Oh, we got some just general paper advertisements that looks like it's for Unicorn. And then there is the actual manual. Okay, there we go. There is the double Z, double Z, double Zeta. I've heard it pronounced and given names in many different ways, but there we go. And everything does seem to be nicely laid out. Let's try to grab the manual. First thing I always try to do is bring the manual up top, and this is showing off some of the expansion parts you can get for this, but I didn't get any of those. I just wanted to build it kind of an out of the box experience with this one. But there we go. First Verkar kit from this box. And let's pull out another Verkar kit. This is the Victory II Assault Buster. You probably can't see it, so tall. There we go. So this is the Victory Assault Buster, which I believe has a ton of gold parts in here. Yeah. Lots of gold. Lots of gold. And this is in contrast of which I believe the normal version of the Victory II is just kind of an orangey yellow color. So there we go. Let's pack this one back away. And just at the bottom on this side, we have the V-Gundam, another Verkar kit. This is for the Victory I. And there is all the parts in there. Let's look for the manual. V-. So I also have a Victory as well in here that I will be customizing, but I wanted to keep one as kind of a normal color scheme, so I got the V- to do that. Okay, next we might be getting into some older kits here, so let's take a look. And now it's going to be like Christmas morning. Does it have a year on it? It looks like it's the V2. Yeah, 2007. So this is the V2 of Char's Zaku, or Zaku II specifically. I do have some of the original ones in here as well. But there we go. The V2. I would probably leave the V2 of both Char Zaku and the normal Zaku, the green Zaku, as out of the box colors. I have some plans for my slightly older versions of these kits though. And right down here looks like another Zaku. So this is a 2002 Zaku right here. Take a quick look inside. There we go. So this is again one of the older kits. Let's take a quick look underneath. There we go. So I've never actually built any of the antagonist suits that I can think of, especially not like just kind of the grunt mobile suit. So getting some Zakus I thought would be a nice way, kind of mix up my display of just lots of Gundams. And this box is getting pretty close to being empty. We have the Heavyarms from Endless Waltz, not Endless Waltz. There we go. That is all in there. Very nice. I haven't had Gundam Wing kits in a very, very long time, so this should be interesting. There's a few of them in here. I'm only just realizing now that when I got Tallgeese III off the top here, right at the beginning of this unboxing section, I think I called it Tallgeese II. This is Tallgeese II. Tallgeese III was the one I got out earlier. Okay, Tallgeese II. I know Tallgeese 1, 2, 3 are all fairly similar kits, but I do like the design of them. So I wanted to pick these up, and there we go. So this is interesting. They just give you the Tallgeese 1 manual again, but with kind of a supplemental kind of sheet about Tallgeese 2 for this one, which kind of makes sense. It's kind of just a recolor, isn't it? Okay, and the final kit in this box isn't even Gundam, but it's something that is very near and dear to my heart, and that is the Blade Liger from Zoids. When I was much, much younger, I used to collect the Tomy versions of Zoids, and I've had a couple of the 𝐂𝐚𝐻𝐿𝐵𝐬 HMM Zoid kits, but I've never been able to get a Blade Liger for a reasonable price until this one came along, which is actually fairly cheap compared to, especially buying it locally, looking at maybe triple the price I paid for it is kind of crazy. I just got whatever one I could because I'm going to paint it up, kind of turn it into my own kind of version of a Blade Liger with mostly bang colors. If anyone knows what that is, there'll be a little bit more white on it instead of a lot of gray, and the gold is going to be a much shinier gold. But that's going to be a fun kit. They are Slightly bigger, I think. I think they're, yeah, 172 rather than 1/100th. So they are slightly bigger kits, but Zoids in general are smaller than Gundams, for the most part, anyway. Okay, that's box 1 for today done. How about we move on to box 2? And let's crack in to box 2 of today's opening. And in we go. Let's see what we're going to see first. I think that's a Rick Dom that's facing away from us, right at the top. Got some packing. Got another box right here. Let's open the Rick Dom first, and it reveals a Buster Gundam right below it. Let's dive into the Rick Dom first. And here it is, the Rick Dom. This is a kit from, when does it say? 1999. So one of the older kits in this video, with its little insert here. And it's a very interesting purple color. Huh, I thought it would be a brighter purple than that, but it's not. That's kind of cool. And what else have we got in here? Where is the manual? All the way down at the bottom. Okay, so instead of jumping straight onto the Buster Gundam next, let's take a look in here. I think this is Victory. And there we go. It has this weird wrapping around it that I'm going to have to take off, but that is the Victory. We already looked at the V-Dash, which is kind of an expanded version of the Victory, but let's dive into this one. I don't know if you can hear that and see that properly, but anyway, we are in to the Victory Gundam Kai. And this is another kit I am going to be customizing. Let's dive down. Oh, there's a card in here. What is this? Hobby Shop Online, P Bandai. And before we jump onto these, let's pull out one of these ones down the side. So these are some of the older kits, which you may recognize straight away from just the box art, which I got for really, really, really cheap. These are from the mid-90s, so 1995, and I picked up a Char Zaku and a standard normal Zaku II, but I will be customizing these kits and kind of tearing them apart, and I'll talk about that a little bit more later on in the video, but yeah, these kits are going to get beat up a little bit. And here is just the standard original Zaku II from 1995. And next we will pick up here the GM Sniper 2, which has got something I can't read from Book Off on it, but I know what Book Off is. They're kind of a second-hand store in Japan, and I bought a few things from them, but they also sell complete kits where people have just sold them off to Book Off because they never were able to finish building them or even start building them in the case of some kits like this. And they put them on for a fairly low price. They're not like the single 1 yen auctions I was battling on a few, but these are pretty cheap. Okay, well, it's been staring at us for a while, so let's pull out the Buster Gundam from Gundam Seed. And it has revealed another Seed suit right below it. But there we go. Very strange to have such a thin box. It's very, very short in terms of depth. But there we go. There's the Buster Gundam. And I like on the box art, you can see a number of different suits, actually. That's really cool to see. And I guess we'll pull this one out as it was revealed by the Buster Gundam. This is the Gundam Astray Red Frame. I believe this is what they refer to as the Kai. I could be wrong. But yeah, I absolutely love how this suit looks. This is going to go right up with my PG perfect grade Astray. So we have front view, rear view. I really like this box as well. The box art is really cool. I think I'm just a fan of the Astray. The whole line I think is very cool. Turn Red is a kit I definitely want to try to get my hands on as well. I suppose spoilers, there is no Turn Red in these boxes. But there is the manual. This is a kit, when is this from? 2010. So going on 11 years old now. And we did see this one peeking out, another Seed suit right here. This is the Providence Gundam. And interesting that the box art is half, like not really half, it's almost like 3/4 deep, and then it has this little section at the bottom that says premium box art, which is an interesting choice. I don't really know what the difference between this and the standard one is. I know the box art is different. Maybe it's just that it comes with this sort of base. I'm not sure, but let's dig in. This has some sellotape on it, so let me put that and let's get inside. Okay, and while I was doing that, I just noticed that on the bottom it has this, which is pretty cool. But let's crack her open and let's have a look inside. There we go. That is an enormous sheet of decals. So they're all labeled separately. This is interesting. So you have Buster Gundam, Aegis Gundam, Duel Gundam Assault Shroud, AGEII Strike, Blitz, and Freedom Gundam all laid out in this crazy thing. This is actually the Freedom 2.0, which isn't in these boxes either, but I do want to pick up pretty soon. If you want me to unbox some more Gundams, let me know. I can always do a follow-up video in the future when some more arrive. If it won't be like this, it won't be 40 plus kits, but it'll still be a lot. Okay, and here it is, the Gundam Spiegel or Spiegel. I'm not entirely sure what the correct way to pronounce that is. This is an older kit from 2002. Box is got a little bit of damage to it right here. It's a little dinged up, if you can see. But this is actually a kit I won't be building out of the box. I will be customizing as well, similar to my plans for some of the other kits. And I actually am not the biggest fan of how this kit looks normally. I think it needs some work. It's an older kit, so I will be chiseling away and doing some damage to this one as well. Okay, and here we go. We got the GPO 1FB. There it is. I really like the shoulders on this kit. I don't know where it's from, anything about it. I will definitely do some research about it, but it's another older kit. You can see a little bit of a trend here for some of the older kits that I just never had or never got. And I picked them up really, really cheap because it seems like people don't want them anymore, but Master Grade Mobile Suit Gundam Special Edition. Wow. This is an extremely nice booklet, and it shows you a bunch of different MGs from the era. That's very impressive. And there is one more that I've been able to see, but you haven't, down the side here, which is the Crossbone X1. And it, of course, comes with a cloak. Okay. We got another book off, sort of advertisement, receipt looking thing here, and that was on top of the Gundam AGEII Magnum from Build Divers. Pretty cool looking box art for this one. Let's take a quick look inside. Yeah, I like the colors on this one. Kind of a deep navy, almost purpley blue, accented with a bit of orange and yellow. Very, very cool. Okay, let's pull out a 00 kit, as I haven't actually had any 00 kits this entire unboxing so far, well, today. And there we go, this is the Trans Am version of Dynames. This is the third Dynames kit we've seen today in this video, and we will see a third Kyrios as well, but it will not be anything different in terms of in color injection or anything, but they're really, really nice. Really, really cool color. I want to get my hands on a Trans Am Exia at some point as well, so maybe I'll be able to get that one. Okay, I see another kit here that doesn't have packing around it, so that's an easy one. This is the Jin, another Gundam Seed suit. Let's take a look. This is recent, right? 2021, it's this year. Rare to be getting kits from this year, but there we go. Here is the Jin. Very, very cool. And there's a couple more suits in here, but this one is kind of a thick boy. This is the Sinanju Stein. And there is another book off thing in here, and you can see a little bit of damage to the box here, but again, not the biggest deal to me. And there is the Sinanju Stein. Looks to be all okay in there. And we have a Zaku Cannon. This is from 2008. The Zaku Cannon is a pretty weird looking mobile suit. It'll be a cool one to do a little bit of weathering on and things like that. And there we go. Everything looks okay in there. And we're up to the final kit in this box, which is another Vercar. This is the High New Gundam Vercar. Very, very excited for this one. I love the color scheme. There we go. I actually already have the New Gundam, but I've never had the High New Gundam. So this will be fun. I actually built the New Gundam probably about 6 or 7 years ago. There we go. Lots of interesting parts there. Some sort of... Oh, this is the, kind of, I guess, advertisement for the HWS system. Just HWS, and there's the manual. Again, very, very cool colors. The purple blue color scheme is really, really nice. Okay, that's another box done. So I guess we will move on to the final box, which is much smaller. Okay, let's crack this one open. It looks like the sellotape is back here. Let's see if that's enough to get this thing open. There we go. And we can already see one Barbatos and two Barbatos right there on top. Okay, so let's get these open real quick. And there we go, both of them unpackaged. Well, this other one's still got some plastic wrap around it, but I'll do that in a second. But there we go, this kit I'm very excited for. Very, very excited to build this one. Not only just because I've been watching Iron-Blooded Orphans recently, but because, you know, it's a cool kit. Barbatos is such a cool mobile suit. It's such a cool Gundam. I love it. Okay, let's put those out of the way. Okay, I actually had to take a break because I ended up cutting my thumb when I opened this box, and I thought I could muddle through. And I was trying to go through those Barbatoses and couldn't, so I went and got a plaster. Or a band-aid, whatever you want to call them. What I'm opening right now is another one of the Barbatos expansion part sets from P Bandai. We opened one earlier. I mentioned I was getting another one, so there we go. Let's get some of this bubble wrap down here. We got another Astray right here. So this is the frame D. This is the blue frame Astray, and I specifically got this one because it didn't have like a big sword or something with it. It has these, which I thought was a nice different look for the Astray. Okay, I've released it from its strange plastic prison, and inside a lot of really bright blue and cool orange looking pieces, which is really great. That's going to be a fun kit. Again, never built MG Astrays, so it's going to be a fun one. Oh, this is another P Bandai parts kit, but slightly different. So here we go. These, I guess I'll just do this up here. It's such a small box. These are the, I believe, Dragoon display effects, which is kind of an expansion set for the Providence Gundam, which we unboxed in the previous box. And there we go. This is going to be a really cool one. I think Providence Gundam is a really interesting and cool looking Gundam, and it's, you know, antagonistic in its design and looks, which I really think is cool. So to have it kind of blasting out all of its different effects and stuff will be really cool. So from a pretty small box there to a fairly large one. Not the largest, because the largest is going to be a little bit further down in this box, and I'm going to block it so you can't see what it is, but I'm sure you can see what this is, which is the Sinanju I should say. And let's take a quick look in here. There we go. Some of these parts are absolutely ginormous. Looks like one of these parts has come off the runner slightly. Only very slightly, but it's not damaged or anything. And we have a bunch of parts, including some parts where they're trying to get you to use gold stickers. Those will be painted. And we have the manual and another piece of advertising material. It looks like there's also some more of these clear effect parts down below, so that's good. And for the third time in this video, we have a Kyrios. And I'm sure at this point in the video, you don't need to see another one of these. So let's jump on to the next kit in here, which is another very thin box. I believe this is very recent, isn't it? 2019, a couple of years old. This is the Zaku Warrior, and let's take a quick look inside. This is another Gundam Seed suit, so we've had so many Gundam Seed suits at this point in the video that I think that series might be winning. There we go. I like that we're getting very, very black parts. These are very dark black rather than sort of a grey colour. That's very cool. And we make it to the final box, in the box of the final box of the video, which is the Sazabi Vaka. What a monster of a kit this is, and I am extremely excited to build this at some point. There it is. Just a crazy number of parts. but not that daunting as I've been building the MGEX Unicorn, and that thing is pretty huge as well in terms of parts. So there we go. That is every single Gundam Gunpla box I will be opening in this video out of the original packing box, this giant bit of cardboard right here. And next up, I'll be going through every single one individually on the desk. So stay tuned if you want to see closer looks at every single one of the kits that you've seen me open in this video so far. But if this is where you're going to be tuning out, then thanks for watching, and stay tuned for some custom build videos, just some general build videos, and some more unboxings. Welcome everybody to the desk for the very first time. So I've actually just finished recording that very first part of the box opening at the beginning. You've seen a lot more video since then, but this is just the tools that I got, and actually you'll be seeing more B-roll of the desk. It is probably very different looking by the time this gets posted, but hey, I thought I'd show you some nice B-roll of my area where I build my Gunpla and things like that. Anyway, let's dive into very quickly the tools we got, and then we're going to do detailed close-up unboxings of every single Gundam you saw in this video, which is why this video is so long. If you don't want to watch just specifically unboxings of every single one, you can skip right to the very last chapter of this video, which should be called something like Showcase or something like that, which will show you just all of the boxes by themselves if you want to see everything that came in this video. So let's dive in very quickly here and have a look. So we've got the airbrush. I'm not going to unbox these in this section. I'm just going to take a little bit of a closer look, because in that section I did just kind of go through the box very quickly. And then we got some Gundam markers, a bunch of different colors, which is great, really useful. And then I actually have one of the Tamiya masking tapes already. This is a 6mm, which is one of these. So I have another one, which we can open right here. 10mm right here, which is a little thicker, which will also be useful. Doesn't want to come out. There we go. Yeah, that is really thin. Really thin. So we have the 10, the 6, and the 3. And finally, for the tools, before we dive into the Gunpla, let's open these God Hand nippers, and let's have a look. Yeah, they do feel pretty good. And it has a little pouch for them, which is very nice. Cool. All right, time to dive into the Gunpla, I think. And here it is, the very first Gunpla we pulled in this video, the Gundam Exia Dark Matter. Now I got this one for about 5,800 yen. Its list price I think was about 800 yen less than that, but it's a slightly older kit now, slightly rarer for some reason to get hold of, and I managed to pick it up for a price which I think is pretty reasonable. And here we go. Inside, there was a little bit of buckling on the manual here, but that's not too big of an issue. I can fix that. And here is the kit. Okay, so there's some clear orange parts on this runner, which looks pretty interesting. These must be the multicolor, yeah, A runner. So there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 main big runners. So that's 6 packets of main big runners, so there's quite a few there. And then we have a somewhat metallic, not great metallic silver with some stickers in there. We have some decals. Actually, no, they're just stickers as well. They aren't decals. They're just sticker decals. And with some more mid-size. And then we have some stuff for the GN drive right there. There's some pretty interesting colors though. I don't think you can really see, but they are very interesting colors. So let's put all this back away, and there we go. Let's put the box top back on, and let's move over to the next one. And here we go, the Gundam Amazing Exia, again from Build Fighters. This is one of very few P-Bandai kits that you won't see too many P-Bandai kits in this video. There are a few, but this is one of them. I'm just a big Exia fan, and I like what they actually did with Dark Matter and Amazing in Build Fighters. And there we go. This one is in pretty pristine condition. Like, you know, this hasn't been ruffled around or anything like that. Because the thing you have to think about here is these were probably sitting in some Japanese person's spare room or in the corner, and they just never got around to building them. But some people have protected them more than others. This one is in excellent, excellent condition. And you can see we've got some very, very vibrant green parts there, clear green, which is great. And I should count the big packets. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with big spears, and then there's a bunch of smaller ones here. So we have stuff for the shield there. We have the clear parts for the GN drive rather than the kind of clear purpley sort of color we got in the Dark Matter. There's some more parts for the shield there. And we have some clear green parts in there and some more blue. And some stickers in this one. Again, with some more smaller pieces. And we even have pilot figure in red on that as well. So everything seems to be there for this one too. A lot of people will trade in unbuilt Gunpla to these secondhand stores and get a price for them. So, but these were not, these were just bought from normal people in Japan. Anyway, next box. And here we have Kyrios. Now for Kyrios and Dynames, we got 2 of each of those. We will only be unboxing 1 of each in this section at the end, which I think makes sense to everybody. Yeah, the prices for this and everything should be on the screen. There you go. Anyway, let's get into the Kyrios here and see what we got. So manual again is looking in excellent condition. This is a more recent kit. What does it say on the books? 2020, this last year. I know Dynames was a little before that, but this looks really, really nice. We have those clear parts that connect. It's on all the 00 suits, but they connect different parts of the suit together. So we have 1, 2, 3, very bright orange of that. Look at that. 3, 4, 5 with big kind of pieces of plastic in. And then we have some smaller ones here. Some more very bright orange parts right there. And some white parts. That's kind of a big packet. And this looks like legs and things like that. And we even have a little advertising for the Gundam fan club in the bottom here, it looks like. Anyway, that was the Kyrios, and I have to figure out how we're going to go through the other bigger boxes, not only for this box, but also the other ones that we've received since. Anyway, we'll figure that out. Yeah, that's probably not going to fit. Okay, zooming out the camera a little bit does manage to just get this to fit in. So there it is. This is the Master Grade Extreme Unicorn. I'm very excited to build this one. I have a full armor MG from many, many years ago, and I like the Unicorn's design. And I actually got this super, super cheap. I mentioned this in the unboxing. I can tell you, I'll pull up the spreadsheet to tell you what I got it for. So I won this for 13,000 yen. Now, if anyone knows the list price, which I do, which is 23,000 yen, that means I saved 10,000 yen buying this on Yahoo Auctions Japan. So that's about £84 or $119, which is crazy because I see this in the UK selling from £200, £250. So I saved a lot of money, nearly £200 on buying this through Yahoo Auctions Japan. So anyway, biggest savings aside, let's dive into this kit because there's no doubt a bazillion parts. And here we go. So it's a Vercar kit, so of course the first thing we see are a bunch of water slides. I don't know how well you can see those. So there they are. If I move this away slightly, you might get a clearer picture. And instead of just counting all of these, because I'm just going to quickly go through them rather than take them all out of the box, because I think that'll take too long, I just want to look at a few specific parts in this unboxing. So here's the LED frame. So this fits throughout the frame of the Unicorn to do light up effects, which is one of the reasons I really wanted this. We got some small parts on O runners, it looks like. And we have the clear part. So the entire psycho frame of this MGEX is clear so that you can put it into whatever color, you know, red or green. They could have done blue, right? Maybe they didn't want to, but oh my. That isn't a manual. That's a magazine. Wow, okay. It looks very different from other MG kits in terms of the design here. We're seeing far more detail, color, and definition in these pages. I'm very excited to see what else they do with the MGEX line. There's a ton of great things they could do, and they all don't need to just be crazy LED kits. They could do some with some pretty amazing transformations and things like that as well. Let's take a quick look at the LED unit itself right here. So it is unopened, brand new. Let me grab my craft knife here and just slice this open. We'll just take a peek inside. And that seems to be the main base. There's all the wiring, and we also have the main base underneath there. That is going to be one hell of a kit to build. I haven't decided what I'm going to do with it in terms of building, if I'm actually going to paint the... Maybe I'll paint the white to give it some pre-shading at the very least, because I feel like it can look a little monotonous just being all white. But that is Gundam, specifically Unicorn Gundam. We have the base there of the cage, which is another great addition to this. But there is a thing that I'm not super happy about. Let me lift this up so you can see. Stickers. So I will be coloring at least one side of the V-fin in with a gold. I have a couple of golds I could use. I have the Mr. Hobby gold here, which is just called gold. But then the one I think I will probably use, depending on how it turns out, is the Alclad, which is called Polished Brass, which is a color I really, really like. And if you look right there, you should be able to see. That's a great looking one. I'm going to do some tests with that soon, and that might be the color the V-fin becomes. The other idea is maybe like a candy yellow, but I'm not sure how that will turn out yet. We'll see. Rather than trying to fit the top back on, let's just cut to the FAZZ. Now, I think this is almost the exact same size, everything's falling over, as the Unicorn MGEX box was. And you can see my dog sneaking into frame down there, as he does. So this is the FAZZ, as I originally pronounced it, or FAZZ, I should say. So let's have a look in here. My dog could fit in this box. These are like huge boxes. And as it's another Vercal, we do get a bunch of really great looking water slide decals in there. Decal or decal? Let me know. Some great ones there. And you can see just the size of this kit from these runners. It is very, very big. So we want to find the manual in here. There's some stickers there, not too many, mostly for eyes, and then a couple of other little places, which is a good sign. And I do see the manual down here. Definitely not as magazine heavy as the MGEX, but there we go. And there's some great looking yellow here. That's a very nice, kind of almost like an orangey golden yellow. And we got more parts. Where's the big blue runner? Is this the big blue runner? The blue runner. And it's a very interesting blue. It's not a deep blue, and it's not a sky blue, and it's not like a traditional royal blue. It's more like a mid blue, which is actually a really, really nice color. So And that's pretty much it for this kit, because we have one more to go from the original box opening. So let's get this box out here and slide in the EX/S Gundam. And here it is. Probably my favorite box art. I mentioned this earlier. I do absolutely love how this looks. I think it looks fantastic, and I'll put the prices for this one up as well, as I have been doing. But what I do want to show, just specifically for this one, is just how cool this sort of stuff is. I mean, it's on all of the boxes, but for some reason this one just really catches my eye. Maybe I just really like how this kit looks, especially here and here. It looks great. It's a big, big, beefy kit. So let's dive in and check out some of the parts in this one. Okay, so I was just thinking, the amount of time I'm spending just focusing on the different Gunpla in this video. This is going to be a long video, so you're no doubt already very aware of this. This is another chunky manual. You can see the XS and the S on here. I am a really, really big fan of the XS. I think it looks great. It's a very, very cool looking Gundam. And I believe that's the transform. And we have a bunch of pages, as we can see. Transformation, yeah, G Cruiser, G Attacker, G Bomber, and you've got the G Core as well. So it looks like you can do G Cruiser with the G Core when you build the XS, and you can do the G Attacker, G Bomber, and G Core when you do the S Gundam. So there's so many extra parts, I guess. And it also shows you the different assembly instructions, so you pick which path you want to take. So the top path is XS, the bottom path is S, and you go through building it all up in this one. A lot of pages. So another really nice orange color, orangey yellow I should say. And we can see V-fins and things on this one. Big, big ones. And here, just look at the size of these shoulders. Like there's a very, very big parts on a 1/100th scale kit. We have some actual tubing in here. And it doesn't actually look like the manual is down this side, so those parts can go back on. We do have some decals here, but I'm not sure. These are just stickers. These are not water slides. These are just standard stickers. So I may see if there is some third party or Bandai even water slides for this kit, because I do prefer water slides. There's even screws in this kit, which I think shows that it's a slightly older kit that has been somewhat refreshed and repackaged, because that is what happened with this kit. And actually, this is interesting. If I go down this side, past all the white parts, we get our look at the ginormous base that comes with this. Like, that is huge. So we're looking at about a 27 centimeter long and 16 centimeter wide base. That is a chunky, chunky base for a Gundam. I mean, I'm assuming that probably means this Gundam, when built up, will probably topple a normal action base, but there's a lot of screws with that as well. Okay, there we go. So that is the XS Gundam. So that's it from the first box I opened, so we'll cut forward now to looking at some of the kits from the future boxes. Okay, I've just finished unboxing the second box. This was the box from China. So I'm just going to quickly go over the things that arrived with it, and then we'll go through the Gundams. I just wanted to show these first. So these are the acrylic bases for Kyrios and for Dynames, which are pretty nice. They're literally just two pieces of acrylic sandwiched together with a piece of paper through the middle. So it's not super fancy, but I do like that they have little tiny legs to stand up off, and this kind of action base holder is pretty sturdy actually. So put those off to the side. I don't know if it will focus on something this small. There we go. I'm going to take a look at how one of these lights up. So I'm just going to quickly take it apart. Okay, there we go. I've just finished putting the batteries in here and flip this on, and it works great. Nice little LED kits. Sweet. Okay, so next, very quickly, I'll just show this. This is a MadWorks, what's referred to as a model handle, multifunction model handle. This is so you can put knife tops or scriber, like chisel parts in there. That's what that is for. And then we have the rest of the stuff here. We'll put these over here. 10mm, I should probably keep them together, but there's the 10mm. That's what it looks like. If it wants to focus, which it might not, but there we go. 4mm, 6mm, 5mm, and a 3mm. That one's very small. Here we go. Very small scribing tape. So to wrap up this section on the tools very quickly, we're just going to look at the sanding paper really quick and the grinding plates, as they're called. These are all from MadWorks as well. You get 3 plates, orange, red, and blue. And then for the grit as well, here's a 400. We'll open this and take a look. I'm just looking up at the camera to see. We're all good. So that's a very nice fine 400 in there. I should take one of these out as my dog grumbles in the background. So that's pretty much it. I'll put all of these over here out of the way. I think it's time we look at the kits we got from this box. Okay, Musha Gundam. Let's rotate him this way so he fits fully into frame. Here he is. Let's take a look inside. So here is the manual. Let's take a look. This is a slightly older kit, right? 2009, so yeah, it's a pretty old kit. I did want it many years ago, and I never ended up getting it, but I'm very happy to have it now, because he's a very cool looking Gundam. They're actually surprisingly good silver parts, if you can see. I don't know if you can see those. There we go. We have some more big runners, and then we have the big crazy gold runners, which are just insane looking. And then I think this is the stuff for the background, because this has like a background design to it, and you can see part there and part there. Very cool. Yeah, like I said, I've been wanting this one for a really long time, so I'm glad I got this one. And here is the Dynames. This is another kit I've been very excited for, but this is the kit that wasn't damaged. So this is the one that was in the bubble wrap. It's slightly out of frame, isn't it? There we go. You can see it properly now. So yeah, this was the one that was slightly not damaged. This one was not damaged. The other one had a little bit of a crease in it, but that's fine. That doesn't matter. I checked the insides and it's all fine. Okay, let's take a look in here. So we have all the runners. I'm mostly just excited to see the green parts. There we go. It is a nice green, actually. And the manual. Let's take a look. Yeah, similar to the building experience, it looks like, of the Kyrios. Let's check the middle centerfold. That looks great. Nice. I'm excited for this one, and I'm excited for the Virtue as well. And the last kit from the box from China. This is the Master Grade Gouf. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. Knowing me. And this is definitely an older kit because it has this inner thing, which I don't see very often. This inner sort of display window, I guess. And you can see. Oh, interesting. That is interesting to see a full-size character in here. I said full-size, he's clearly not full-size because that would be huge. You can't fit a full human in here. So this is from 2001. So definitely an older Master Grade kit for sure. Not the oldest you'll see in this video though, but there we go. This is one of the kits I know very little about, but I did want to pick it up. I got it fairly cheap and I liked the color scheme, so I thought I would pick this one up, put it on the shelf, and we'll pack that away. Okay, and finally, before my camera battery runs out, here is the Fortune Meow Dynames. I already have, let me grab it from over here, the Stickler Studio Kyrios. So I already have this. So this would be my second resin conversion that I'm gonna do. And of course it's for the 𝐂𝐻 kits. Hopefully they do a cool one for Virtue as well. I haven't seen any for Exia, but maybe I'll look into that at some point. But here's what you get inside a resin kit. I'm not gonna, wow, that is a strong smell. I always forget the strong smell of resin every time I open one of these. And then you have the manual here with what it should look like at the end, which I absolutely love how that looks. But yeah, they talk you through all the different stuff you have to do, which parts you replace, which parts you build, and some more, including the shield parts here, which are very, very detailed. Like the actual amount of detail on these parts on the resin, it always impresses me. Hopefully you can see that. I'll move the light. There we go. And there we go. Cool. Let me pack that back away, and I guess we'll be moving on to the other boxes. Okay, everyone, welcome to the interlude, the intermission, where I'm just going to take a quick break from going through everything and just talk to you about kind of what's happened in the past few weeks since I recorded those first parts, which I guess I'll start with, I built this guy. So this is the MG Kyrios, which I painted and did a bunch of cool stuff with. There's some videos and more images of it I posted online. You can kind of get a good-ish idea of it here. There's some really cool chrome parts that I chromed in there just to kind of add a little bit more depth. So I did that pretty much first to practice both the, painting system and how I'm going to paint, because I'd never used an airbrush before, and also just to kind of get used to building model kits again, I guess. And then I've also been working on this guy, who might fall over. We'll see. This is the MGEX Unicorn, and you can see I've been putting some of the decals and such on the cage. I think I'm going to pick up another one. I think I'm going to have two of these. I'm going to have one in kind of the cage mode like this when this one's finished up, and then I'll get another one to put in destroy mode. You can get them so cheap that I think, why not? And the last thing before we jump back into opening so many kits, let me just grab my phone right here and let me just record a video on my phone of just some of the kits next to me. So this is the first tower of kits that I'll be opening next in the video, and the others are over that side of the room where I unboxed them in the first part of the video. But yeah, it's kind of crazy. Just look at all those kits. Okay, let me put my phone back away. And there's just one other thing, is the camera's actually on a new rig now, so I can zoom this out even further, which would have been helpful earlier in the video when I had those massive boxes trying to fit them into view. So we can go wider now, and we can go super, super close if we really needed to. There is the boo-boo from the third unboxing, so the very final video, the very final box of the videos at the beginning. I did slice my thumb, but luckily it wasn't on camera. So there we go. Anyway, zoom in and let's get things ready to unbox some more Gunpla. And here we go. Here is the Tallgeese. I think that light's probably going to be a little bit in the way. There we go. So Tallgeese from Endless Waltz. Let's get this boy open and take a look inside. Take a look at some of the parts in here. There's a little bit more space now. So let's take a look. This is an interesting orange color, like the standard. Let me bring the light back across, although that might just blow things out even more. Maybe if I bring the light across and just dim it down slightly. I don't know if you can even see it. It's right just in front of my finger. It's an interesting addition. You can see the shield right there. I will say, because a lot of these kits have just been sat in, Japanese people's homes, they've gathered years of smells. Now that is a weird thing to say, but I'm usually fine with it. It's just some of them have come from smoking houses or houses where they've smoked cigarettes, and it's quite noticeable. This isn't one of those kits, by the way. The Tallgeese isn't one of those. It's just a lot of the other kits in the same box sort of gained that smell, as I'm sort of destroying this box now. So this isn't the worst. Let's see if we can spot the one that is. And we have the Tallgeese III, which I think I incorrectly said Tallgeese II to begin with, but I do have a Tallgeese II later in this unboxing. So let's take a dive into the Tallgeese III. I think the Tallgeese III has a few more unique parts than the Tallgeese II, which is almost just like a recolor of the Tallgeese 1, pretty much. You have some pretty interesting things. Looks about water slides on the back there. We have fold-out parts now, fold-out pages. Some images of it being displayed with the thing I always forget the name of, heat, like normal stickers and not water slides, but I will check. So that's cool. So that is another P Bandai kit, and I have mentioned previously there's not that many in here, but there's definitely more in this section of the unboxing than there was in the previous ones. Okay, let me turn the light back up again. It's a very dark day here. Hopefully this is bright enough. So here is the Age 1 Normal. Let's crack into this one. I mentioned in the unboxing that I'm quite excited for this kit, even though I'm not even familiar with the Age show or anything at all. But you can see here, there's a lot of extra added detail, a lot of really cool things they added to the MG version of this kit. And you can see, there we go, there's some really cool poses of it. That looks really nice. Looks like we have some dry transfers in here, some normal stickers, some metallic stickers, some eye stickers and such in here, the yellow parts, got some clear green parts. A fairly cool looking design, if somewhat, the actual one in the show is maybe a little bit too simple, I guess I would say, but this kind of brings it up to that somewhat more modern standard, and I think it looks like a great kit. And then we have the Age 2 Normal, which again follows straight on from the Age 1 that we just looked at. And this one transforms. Does the other one transform? Probably not. This one just has that sleek sort of transforming look to it. But I don't feel like they did enough with this kit to bring it in line with what the stuff they did with the Age 1. Maybe at this point they'd already seen some of the numbers of the Age series. I will watch the Age series and kind of give my opinion and impressions on it, because I feel like just going off what other people said is never a good way to form an opinion. So I'm just kind of going off the consensus currently until I have my own. I always like digging for extra little bits. So this is something to do with the Age 1. You get some sort of extra parts in the monthly hobby magazine, it looks like. Yeah, so you get, it's for the high grade, you get two sort of sabers and some additional parts to attach to the Age 1. This is no doubt extremely out of date. Does it have, of when it ends, it just says there are no, like, times of day to call or to with a telephone number, so I don't quite understand that one. And then there's a little tiny little leaflet there for BandaiHobby.net. Interesting. A little bit of a when you ever get little extra pieces of information like that, little extra booklets, I always find it interesting to see, because this is of the time, isn't it, you know? Okay, and that is the Age 2 Normal. And onto the Sengoku Astray. This is from Build Fighters. There's a few Astray kits in my unboxing that you would have seen earlier, but let's do a quick look at the Sengoku here. I'm not the biggest fan of how this looks out of the box. I think the green parts are probably the things that distract me the most, but I really like the double sort of sword mounts on top of the shoulders idea. I think that's really, really cool. Really, really nice. Especially, yeah, these arms and the shield right here. Very, very cool. And I love some of the dynamic poses you can get. I think I've seen these episodes. I might not have seen them. I can't remember, but I saw a good chunk of Build Fighters when it first aired. I saw most of the first season, so I may have seen this, but it's been, what, 5-6 years since I watched it now. So I will no doubt get back to it, try to watch Build Fighters Try and Build Divers as well, try to get, you know, back into those series. Some interesting colors here with grays. Gundam suit. Here's the parts I wanted to check. So these are the gold parts for like the ends of the weapons and such. They're not as metallic as I would have hoped, so I might be painting these as well. They have kind of a weird design to them even. Like, I don't know if you can even tell, but it's not, it doesn't look like just gold plastic. It almost looks translucent at the same time, so it doesn't look like solid blocks of gold. And here are the two MG swords. Let's take this one away. And next we have the Duel Gundam Assault Shroud, which is a Gundam Seed kit I've been very excited for. It looks really, really cool on here. I love how the Assault Shroud looks. It's a very nice addition. And there's some more images. You can see just the standard Duel Gundam here. And then this is it with the Assault Shroud on. I really, really love the backpack design, how it opens up. It's almost like a very light, like bluey, almost not quite purple, but still not quite sky blue either color. You can see compared to a more dark blue there. Very, very cool color scheme. Very cool kit. We've got some dry transfers here. A bunch of those with Zaft and things like that on there. And we have just some normal stickers, it looks like in this one, with some different parts, including the name and ID and such. And then we have some more kind of big strips of colors as well. It's not first on the list. Next up is the ReZEL, I believe it's pronounced ReZEL, as I'm knocking my things here. So this one I think is quite cool because of this. I believe this is from Unicorn, if I remember correctly. I think this is a Unicorn suit, and I can vaguely remember this mobile suit in my head because I've rewatched Unicorn not that long ago. But honestly, I just so focus on Sinanju and Unicorn in that I just forget the other suits, which is bad of me. Anyway, so we have the manual and we have this call out sheet to, I don't know what it's for exactly. This is talking about the action base for the Sinanju right here, although I think it's for, interesting, it's a 1/48th scale base, but I don't know if it's for high grade or master grade kits. I can't quite tell. It might be for both, I'm not sure, but it is a cool looking set. I think I've seen that before. So we've got some clear red parts with the F runners. We have some really cool blue color. I like this blue color a lot. These are the D runners, more of that blue color. And this is an interesting part. This has got to be the A runner, right? Yeah, it is. So there's some other stickers and such in here, including like holographic ones, but there's all of these big bold blue colors and this darker blue color, lighter blue color here. And then there's just this tiny little section of yellow, which is always impressive to see. So that is the ReZEL. I've probably pronounced it wrong 1,000 times, hopefully not. And on to the next one, which is the double Z, double Z, double Zeta. Again, I've heard it pronounced a few different ways, kind of a menacing looking. Let's have a look at some of the sides of this one. Really interesting breakup of colors. It seems to be mostly predominantly white, but it's also got quite a lot of blue, yellow, and red. Which is a really cool design. I've not seen the Zeta series at all. Well, actually, I think they're movies, right? I have them, and I'm going to actually make my way all the way through Universal Century again while I'm building all of these kits, because I've seen parts of UC here and there, and there's just things I've missed. So I will also say, this is 100% the kit that smells the most like cigarettes. So I think it's permeating from this kit. Yeah, it's quite a strong smell, I won't lie. So let's get through this one pretty quick. I'm going to hold my breath. So this is an advertisement for the expansion parts for this kit, which was released in December of 2017. Specifically the parts this kit came out. Let's have a look. Also in 2017, probably earlier in 2017. It was probably more like a spring summer suit. All the way down, there are some very long beam sabers. And that's just the effect part. You got to imagine the actual hilt on those as well. So we've got some A runners here. And we actually have 2 of the A runners, so that's kind of crazy. A lot of good part separation and color separation on this one, with the yellow, the blue, the clear parts, and the white. That's always nice to see. Runner, they look pretty nice. You can see those. Pretty nice silver. And we have some more blue, and then it looks like a slightly darker blue here, and then all the rest are gray, but we do have some more stuff at the bottom. Okay, so let's take a look at what these are. So we have a few things here, including something for the Gundam fan club. We have, these seem like holographic versions of the water slides. I don't know if I've ever seen these before. Maybe I have, I'm not sure. Can you see that these are holographic? They're like shiny. And it says this stuff on the back. I don't remember ever seeing these before. Anyway, there's this tiny little thing here with a link and a QR code on it. And then we have a little bit of advertisement here for this is the Build Fighters Battle Log and Gundam Base in Tokyo, which opened, I guess, around the time of this. Although, wasn't it something else, then it got reopened? I'm pretty sure this is the one where, is this the one where Diver City, right? Where the big, currently anyway, the 1 scale unicorn is, and it used to be the RX-78 was there. That is cool. And then on this side, just some more stuff about Gundam Build Fighters specifically on this side. And then a bunch of stuff looks like being sold on Amazon. But there we go. That was a longer unboxing, more focused on one of these bigger car kits. So let's speed things up a little bit. And we have another car kit here. This is the Victory II Assault Buster. This is a very, very cool looking kit, and it keeps knocking things around as well. Maybe this way you'll see it. Yeah, there we go. So look at that. Look at all those cool looking parts, especially right here. You can see this is just the V2 right here, the Victory II. Right there, and then you can see all the extra parts that come with this. So you could actually buy this as a separate expansion set. So you could buy just the Assault Buster as a separate P-Bandai kit and then put it with your Victory 2, and then you'd have the full thing. But this was actually both of those kits added together. And I don't know if it was always the case. I don't think it was, but they gave all of these parts a very cool gold finish. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it because I don't know if I love it or I hate it. So I won't decide on that in this video. But beam shield, very, very cool looking shield, very cool effect parts on there. A huge, long, Vercar styled water slide sheet, just crazy. That's with the A runners right here, which is separated by blue, kind of a dark blacky gray, and we have a red piece in there. Because they are pretty good, but I imagine sanding these down to get rid of the nubs, because they don't seem like they're... Oh, they are undegated, or some of them are undegated. Like right here, these are definitely undegated. It is kind of crazy, because it's definitely a duller gold than I would normally do on my kits, but I don't hate it. It's more like a gold rather than the yellow sort of orangey gold that I kind of go for. So that's interesting. Some cool parts. There's some more gold under here as well, including the V-fin and some more parts. It's definitely an impressive looking gold. Quite a few kits before, but this one looks pretty good. Okay, and that is the Victory II Assault Buster, and this is the V-Dash with an interesting alternate head. Again, I don't know much about Victory Gundam. It's another series I missed. I don't know if V-Dash is also in the series or it's an upgrade the Victory Gundam gets maybe. And you can see right here, the boxes just don't want to stand up for me over on this side anymore. There we go. So here it is, the manual. Got a bunch of stuff in here, including the core booster, and then weapons. Interesting that weapons are early on this rather than late. And then you got arms, torso, and you can do the transforming effect. You got weapons and equipment, equipping the shield, beam sabers, and yeah, right here is the transformation. And then of course, the labeling for the many, many Vercar water slides. Very, very cool. Is this two V-fins? So there's a V-fin here and a V-fin here. So this is an A2 slide. This is A2, and then this is A1. And it looks like some parts are actually duplicated. I really, really like the blue of this. I've seen some people color this slightly more pastel. We have more V-fins. These yellow parts right here and right here. That's now 4 V-fins I've seen in here. That is crazy. And very different. And this box on the side is just falling on me. You can't, can you see that? No, but if I just did this, there you go. It was just on my arm. So there we go. No other extra papers in that one, as I hit my light with the box. But there are 2 versions of the head. I don't know why, but I do like this one quite a lot. Okay, and next up we have two Zakus. Let's go through these pretty quickly. So this is Char's Zaku V2 from 2007. There's the manual. These are the pipes that run through it. Interesting colors there. We have kind of this dull red and then the bright red for the middle of the torso, or some sort of spring. I'll find out when I build the kit. But the V2 Zakus are the ones I'm probably going to keep in their standard colors, and then the V1, the original from 1995, V1 Zakus are the ones I'm going to be messing up with. Messing up with? That sounds like I'm going to do a terrible job. No, I won't be doing a terrible job. I'll be making them nice and tidy. Anyway, let's talk about the Zaku II. I believe this kit is also from 2002. It is... Although, interestingly, this reminds me more of that original 1995 suit in terms of its packaging, but I can tell it's definitely not by this shoulder piece. If I get to the, well, when I get to the V1s, you'll be able to tell. But if I grab the previous Zaku box again, right here, is this just another, you guys in the comments might know, is this just the V1 Zaku again, rather than the Zaku II, the V2 Zaku, I should say, of the Zaku II? Because it might be, which is absolutely fine if it is. If this is the, yeah, this might just be that one again, and if it is, I will compare it to the other one when I unbox the other one later in the video. But that is an interesting thing to know. I totally didn't really even look at that kit, sorry. And onto the Tallgeese II. We've already looked at Tallgeese and Tallgeese III. So here is Tallgeese II. So they give you just the standard Tallgeese 1 manual in here with kind of a supplemental sort of material talking about which parts are different, which parts you should, you know, pay attention to. But that's a cool looking kit for sure. I do love the white and blue contrast with that yellow sort of Roman-esque part from the head instead of a normal V-fin or something like that. It's very cool. And most of this kit also has this sort of light grey colour to a lot of the undersuit, which is really interesting. Again, you can see more of that here. And then the blue on this suit is kind of this dark sort of royal blue almost. The yellow parts of the headpiece right there, which are really nice. Okay, so that is the Tallgeese II, another P Bandai. Again, not many of those, so it's always nice to look into a P Bandai. And we have the Heavyarms from Endless Waltz as well. So there we go. This is an interesting kit because I've had Endless Waltz kits before, and I think this one just looks really cool. I don't know if it's a later version. When did this one come out? 2012. Yeah, I've definitely never had this one before, but I've had Endless Waltz kits before, and this one is a very interesting design. I really like it. Oh, that's a really cool pose. It's really, really cool. I have some of these, some white parts. Although this is kind of like an off-white, which you may not be able to see on camera. It's definitely not like a blazing bright white color. Now we have some more. It's more like an egg white rather than anything else in terms of color. It's not like a brilliant white color. But there is some really, really cool orange parts. I like that orange color quite a lot next to the yellow, and some blue and some more of the white on there. A-runners are always really cool because it's such a departure from the usual just other runners, so they are always so colorful, the A-runners, because there's so many different colors on there. And the final one from the first box of the final boxes. That's a weird description to say it like that, but from this lot that I'm unboxing right now, this is the last one. This is from, yeah, box one of those three that I opened at the end of the unboxing at the beginning. And this is a Zoids kit, a Zoids 𝐂𝐚𝐻𝐫𝐬 high-end master model rather than a Gundam kit. So I'll try not to, you know, spend too much time on it, but I've seen a lot of people on the Reddit and such posting their Zoids builds and stuff, because it's a very similar build process, if not a little bit more complicated than a normal Gundam kit. but I'm a old school Zoids fan. My first username online ever was Blade Liger, back when I was preteen, and now I'm very old. But Blade Liger is just an iconic piece of anime, an iconic piece of imagery to me. So I'm very, very excited to get my hands on one of these. It wasn't the cheapest model in the world, but it goes for so much more over here that I was okay with it. And the one thing I will say about this kit, I hate how the gold looks. So I will be doing a custom paint job on this kit. Maybe just on the outer parts, but we'll see. But it's just, I don't know what they were thinking. It's not meant to look like Bang's Blade Liger, I get it. But it is a travesty to see such a dull, almost brass color rather than gold. And there's quite a lot of it. Why is there so many cockpits? So there's this cockpit, which could be left over from the shape of it. It almost actually looks more like the Shield Liger rather than the Blade Liger. And then you've got another one here, and then just a fully clear one, which I guess you could paint. I'm not sure, but they do give you quite a lot of options in here. And there is a lot of parts. Like compared to a Gunpla kit, there is a lot of more parts in here. But there we go. I won't spend too much time on this one because we have a ton of other Gundam kits to go through. So let's go through those as soon as I get this box on, and we can dive into some more. Okay, so I'm just taking a little break and I'm back, and we are going to talk about the Zaku II. This is the original Zaku II from 1995. And earlier in the video, I did talk about the F2 right here, which is a slightly different variant of the Zaku II. This is technically not the V2. So this is kind of like the V1. This is almost like the V1.5. So I actually don't have the V2 of the green Zaku. So I may pick that up in the coming days. This is, I think, 7 years after this one, and then the V2 was, I think, another 5 years after this one. So that's why I was a little confused earlier, but it should be clear now. But these older kits that I got, the Zaku II from 1995 and the Zaku II Char's version from 1995 as well, are actually going to be kits I customize and do some pretty crazy stuff with. But this is why I was a little confused when I got that other one out earlier. Well, this is fascinating. I don't think I've ever seen this in a kit, straight up. A kit with a decal already applied to it. There's one runner and some little parts there. There's two more runners and some more little parts there. There's a runner there, two runners in there, and then one more runner in there. That's not a lot of parts. That's a fairly light kit, and that's why I'm excited that I'm going to be doing some crazy kind of customization with these kits, because the other one I'm about to pull out now is also from 1995, and that is the version of the Zaku II, but in red, which is obviously Char's version. Char's version? Char's version. And there we go. And there it is in red. Again, similar amount. I'm going to try to find that shoulder piece again. Yeah, again, here we go. Maybe this isn't the Char's version. Maybe this is a different version, because I thought this was Char's version, but it says Dukedom Customized. I don't know. Clearly, my familiarity with this era is not very strong. Next, we'll jump onto some more kits. And it's the big boy himself, the Rick Dom. Let's take a closer look in this box. I believe this kit's getting a V2 or like a V1.5 pretty soon, but I thought I'd just pick this one up. I got it pretty cheap. Again, the purple is a really nice color in here. It's not a very bright purple or anything. There's some huge parts in here. They are very, very large parts. They're already fully constructed. This is the back skirt right here, which is very, very big. And these are the feet right here as well. Big, big mobile suit. A very chunky boy. It's like a jewel almost. There we go. That's pretty much middle of the frame. Not quite matte. There we go. Okay, let's put this one back away. And let's dive into some more kits. Here is the red frame. This is the Astray Red Frame, I should say. And I actually got this pretty cheap because I got it in a double pack with the Buster Gundam. So overall, pretty low price for both of those kits because you can just half the price I paid for the auction, basically. So there we go. And then there's the image on the back. I like how this is slightly different from my PG because my PG just has the two beam sabers on the top of the backpack and then the sword and the rifle. This has all this extra stuff with it, which means it'll differentiate itself from my PG at least. So I can have a few different MG forms of the Astray. And I think I'm going to have it posed somewhat like this. Although the sword form is quite tempting, although I might just do something similar with a big sword when and if I can manage to get my hands on the turn red. We got some more sword pieces, which we saw in the previous one. We got some cool looking decals and things there. I keep knocking things everywhere. Short, either rifle or sabers, daggers almost. And at the very bottom here, it does look like you get a red action base of sorts, although I wonder if it's just a small action base to prop up the sword if you want to use it in sword mode rather than a full action base for the kit. That would be my guess. It doesn't seem to be the case. Display stand is the next page. No, it's not. Yeah, it's its own almost compact looking display stand in red, right? That was in red. Yeah. Which is cool that it comes with its own thing, and yeah, you can mount directly onto there, or you can use it actually. Yeah, you can mount it to the shield and lower it down because the shield, the sword or the shield or whatever you want to call it, it transforms into a bow. It has sword mode. It is where it attaches to. So very interesting, very very cool kit. That'll be a fun one to build. And let's dive on to a couple of smaller boxes. And we have the GM Sniper 2 from 2017, so pretty recent in the grand scheme of things. And I actually really don't like the color scheme of this suit. I know that's going to be a somewhat controversial opinion. A lot of people do like this suit. I think its colors are just gross to me, which is why, but I actually really like the design of the suit. So I'm actually going to be customizing this one as well and doing a custom build with it. I like the sniper rifle itself. And I like most of the build design overall. I think it looks like a pretty nice suit. It's just the colors I'm not the biggest fan of. Lots of parts though, as expected from a more recent master grade. I like all of these colors, by the way. So the greens, the reds, and the darker blues. It's just this lighter blue I'm not a fan of. I think you can see right here. I don't know why, it just doesn't do it for me. Anyway, next suit is the Victory. We've already looked at the V-Dash, so I won't go too far into this one. But I did notice this on the bottom of the box. For Gunpla 30th anniversary, it shows a bunch of things. We've got, this is Zeta, we've got Freedom, RX-78 of course, and then this is talking about this kit right here, which is the Victory. Interesting. So let's take a look inside. This is another kit I'll be customizing because I have the V-Dash to keep the colors the same. But a bunch of clear parts right here, which I have no idea what these are for. They are clear parts. It doesn't make any sense why this suit would have that many clear parts. And then this is a Gundam MS movie files, and then a Gundam 𝐂𝐚𝐻𝐭𝐫𝐬, whatever you want to say, Blu-ray disc. Then you have 3 OVA videos. Well, this is Endless Waltz, it's Gundam Wing, and this is 08 MS, and then I don't know what this, oh, 0083, okay, yep, all OVAs. So let's just have a quick look at this runner. It's runner B. Let's have a quick look. So I'm just looking into this now. I have no idea why I have this runner. I'm not sure why. So this is the normal B runner right here. If you look, you can see the parts in blue. And then I have the exact same runner again, but clear, with clear parts, which is right here. So these are the blue parts and these are the clear parts. And you can see they are the exact same layout, the exact same runner. So I don't know why I have this. I don't know if this is some sort of like accidentally put in here part, or it was some sort of deal to get these, but there are still, I don't know if there are other blue parts in here. I guess there aren't. So maybe the person who bought this was planning on doing a version where the blue parts were some sort of clear color and then just put them together. I have no idea. It doesn't say anything about it in the manual. It just says you have the B runner right here, and it doesn't mention anything about a second clear B runner for any reason in here. So I have no idea. But I do know this is a smaller suit. He doesn't stand very tall. That's the only thing I really know about Victory. But hey, short in stature, make up for in other places. And here is the Buster Gundam from Gundam Seed. I do like the color scheme on this one quite a lot. And let's take a quick look in the manual. Some cool poses of it. Reminds me a little bit of the Heavyarms, but obviously a little different. I love the size of the gun, the main gun it has. It's very cool. On video, it's almost like a flesh color. It's like a peachy off-white color. And on here we have the red parts along with that. We have the pilot figures and some clear parts. And then here you can see the size of the gun, because this is the main gun. And how about the box? Anything cool on the box? Just a cool little pose there. All right, that's Buster Gundam. And next we take a look at the Gundam Spiegel. I don't know how to pronounce it. I've never seen Gundam G, right? Is it G? G Fighters? I always forget. But I remember it had like more of a martial artsy sort of style to it. I do remember seeing some clips from it. And this is an older suit from 2002. And that means it has one of these looking manuals with one of these inner displays again. This is going to be another kit I customize because I think it's a very boring looking suit and doesn't really achieve its master grade status in my opinion. It looks a little basic. Things like this, I think in a newer kit would probably be some sort of metallic silver. These are the blades for that attached to the elbows. I also don't know why this is in just a huge chunk. There's something fell over there. A huge chunk of yellow plastic kind of surrounds this V-fin. Maybe it's to keep it safe so it doesn't break or snap. But then why send another one separately along with the D runner right here? I don't know. Crazy. There is a pretty big figure of, looks like a couple of characters in here. Right here and here. Along with a bunch of different hands, but the hands aren't made out of the hard plastic. They're a much softer, almost like the polycap plastic, which is very interesting, even if it is a little dated for me these days. Okay, it is time for the Providence Gundam. Now this is the premium box art, premium edition, and you can see here, I'm not quite sure if this is the only stuff that the new version comes with, but on this side right here, if I center it, it says it comes with this base right here, which is a display base designed in the Zaft Forces logo, and then you get this right here, which is a special decals, but it seems to be decals for all of the different mobile suits, and they're all water slides. So maybe that's the bonus, is if you're doing like the full MG Seed collection, you get water slides for all of them. I suppose it's pretty good if you have those other suits and you want some extra things, and you want, well, specifically the water slides for those suits. And in we go. It's a very deep box. There's a lot of stuff, a lot of plastic in here. So there's the manual. Let me just quickly open this up right here. That is a very cool looking suit. I do like Providence. And here are the water slides. Again, it's just a humongous sheet of water slides, and they are all labeled and named. You have some normal stickers right here for the Providence Gundam. What's interesting is they don't seem to, these are just stickers for the Providence Gundam. They give you all these water slides and none of them are for the Providence Gundam. Like, not one of these are labeled Providence. They're literally free, like I said earlier, Freedom Blitz, Ale Strike, Buster, Duel Gundam, Assault Shroud, and Aegis Gundam. There's no water slides for the Providence. So what's the point? Why not? I don't get that. Maybe it's in here, maybe I don't know. But look at the size of this effect part. That is a crazy big effect part. And some more of that inner frame, but also we got to start to see the proper color of this very blue-gray color scheme that the Providence has. Here are some of the effect parts, and then you get down here to the very large base, which is a metallic red. I think it's, yeah, it is metallic. It's not see-through or anything like that. And some more parts right here. And there is some stuff at the bottom, which we are going to take a look at, but let me pack all of this back away in here. It's a very cool looking Gundam. There we go. So let's take a look at what these were. It's a little thing there for the Bandai Hobby website. And these are actually advertising the Dragoon effects for this kit. And here they are. These are the P Bandai Dragoon display effects for Providence Gundam, which are very, very bright blue and green. Very, very cool pieces. The instruction sheet on the bottom here. Wow, okay, with, funnily enough, water slides for the Providence Gundam. Not all, I don't think, but for a fair amount. And these are those sort of metallic glossy water slides that we saw previously. But we have this very small number of normal stickers that came with the Providence Gundam, and then we have this bigger sheet now of water slides for the Providence Gundam that came with the P Bandai effects kit for the Dragoon display effects. Now I can already see some are exactly the same, and then the same number as the standard stickers. So 7 is the same, 8 is the same, and 9 is the same. So it looks like a good portion of this section here, I would actually say all of this section seems to be the same as this. So this is the same as this right here. And that goes from, it looks like it goes from sticker number 1 to sticker number 54. And I do see this goes up to 54 right here. So 53 is here, then 54 right down here. And then you get another set of 1 through 77 for the Dragoon effect, which is very interesting. That I guess this goes on the backpack and other areas like that, and these are to enhance the detail on that backpack to really beef up the display of your Providence Gundam. Okay, next up is the AGEII Magnum. Another AGEII, we've already looked at AGEII already, but this is the Build Fighters version. You can see right here. Is it Build Divers versions? Yeah, I've not seen Build Divers at all yet. Good thing I checked and corrected myself. It is Build Divers. But it's cool that they actually brought back an age suit for Build Divers. The blue is really, really nice on this design as everything just falls over again. I also really like the orange on this. There's also some yellow parts right there. But these green effect parts that I guess are used for all of the blade weapons are really, really cool. There's quite a few of them as well. And I've just noticed these are the stickers for the AGEII Magnum as well, with a pretty big sheet called L1 of a big runner here with a bunch of parts. It's just a really nice kind of like dark purple color, which is really, really nice. Okay, let's put all of this back together. And we will take a look here at the GP01FB. There has to be a better name for that. There has to be a better name for it. But this is a really cool looking kit. I really like how this looks. I love its shoulders, how big those shoulder units are. It's really, really cool. This is an older kit. It must be pretty old. It has one of these in it. 1997, so it is one of the older ones, which does make me worry a little bit. I wonder if there's a V2 of it that I just haven't noticed yet. There probably is. So yeah, it just says its name is VRX78 GP01FB. unit spacey, and it has what I can't quite tell if they're just stickers or water slides, but he has, or maybe the dry transfers. That could be it. A bunch of different things. This is a really cool looking, this is almost eggshell colored. It's like a green-white color. That's very interesting coloring. And then some very, very bright blue. Very, very bright blue pieces. And some red pieces, gray pieces, and then we get to this, which maybe is its name, and I'm not in a million years going to try pronouncing that. But I'm just going to move this to a side. I'm just going to take a quick look in this manual. That's a very, very cool sketches right there. I love this sort of stuff when they put these into manuals. But here we go. This is what the kit looks like. It's just a very cool looking kit. So these were the few extra things, and this thing at the very bottom is actually quite surprised me. But these are some old marketing materials, I guess, from the late 90s. So this one is actually advertising a ton of Gundam games for the PlayStation 1. And it says on sale now, not as in discounted price, but on sale as in you can buy them. And then this is some sort of Volume 1 Gunpla modeling advertisement of some sort, which again is pretty old, but it's super cool to see this sort of stuff. I love like cracking into older boxes like that to see this sort of stuff. But this is the thing that really impressed me. This is labeled 1997. It's Master Grade Mobile Suit Gundam Special Edition is what it's called. And I think this is probably one of my coolest things I've ever opened. I'm just going to move this box out of the way so I can fully open this on the mat here. Hopefully you can see all of this. So this is just insane. It's just a beautiful, beautiful booklet. You can see here, this is the original RX-78 from 1995. You can see all the runners it came with, and then all the different parts and how it moves and comes apart. Characteristics, you can see the different weapons. This is the G3, right? And then we have some more here. This is the Zeta, the original. And then there's transformation modes of it. This is again, I think 96, 97. And you can see here, this is this not this unit? This is GP01. And this is GP01, but this is FB. So this has different additional pieces. So I think this is the same kit, but it has this one I've just looked at has more backpack details or backpack jets and things like that. But very, very cool. Yeah, I really like the design of this. Something about it I think I prefer even over something like the original RX-78. There's just something about it I really, really like. Oh, and here we go. This is the FB, which I'm assuming is going to be some sort of flight version, which I really, really love how the backpack looks on this with these big kind of boosters coming off. I wonder what the overall design differences are. So it has those bigger shoulders that I like because it means that it's more blue top heavy. And it has more of like vent covers, and this central cockpit hatch is red rather than blue. So there's a few subtle changes, but it's not a dramatically different design. But it is very cool. And you can see here as well, they brought out a crystal version of the RX-78 as early as the 90s. And we've seen so many of these crystal versions or clear versions or transparent or different color injected molds for different suits now, you know, years and years later, they're still doing it, which is really cool. You can see the package art here for all of the different Gundams they had released up to this point. RX-78, 2, 3, Zeta, GP01, GP01 FB, Zaku II, load of different variants of that. Very cool. And there did looks like a few different of the crystal versions. And then the weapons series over here with a cool piece of art. I have never ever in my life watching Gundam videos or opening Gundam boxes I've seen, I'm trying to talk and do other things, my brain, seen this booklet before. I've never come across this. I'm assuming it's fairly common if I just got it in a random box, but I'd love to know if anyone else watching this has ever seen this before or come across this before, because I think it's an exceptional little, almost like collector's gift in a way, to open a box and see this. Very, very impressed. There we go. The Crossbone X1. I think this is the last of the smaller-ish boxes that I'm looking through in this section before I go grab the stuff from the last box. But this is the Gundam X1. There's some stuff on the back here that shows, I think is this just Wing or Wing Zero? Wing, I think. The ball and the original RX-78-2 in Verka. See some design stuff, which is really cool. Again, pretty cheap, just picking up these kits on Yahoo Japan auctions, or Auctions Japan. Here is the cape, which I guess it will show you how to use somewhere in here. That is interesting. And there's the two other versions. This is the X2 and the X3. They aren't advertising the X0 on here, but you can see the cape being used right here, which actually looks really nice there. It looks more wired there than it actually is in reality. But that's really cool. Let's do a quick little deep dive. What is on here? Nothing super interesting. There is some stickers, some very, very large effect parts, and everything else seems to be grey or red or white right down there at the bottom. Dive into some of the bigger ones now. Well, this isn't much bigger, but it is a little different. This is the Trans Am version of Dynames. Again, as I mentioned a few times in this video, I'm a big fan of 00, so I picked this one up. It comes with just the standard manual for Dynames, but it has a little bit of extra instruction parts here of something going on. I don't know if maybe this is also to maybe pick up the LEDs, which they usually try to advertise in some way. So we've got some clear parts here. We got some parts that go between different areas. So this is kind of like what the undersuit and the white parts, I think this is mostly, this is definitely the white parts. The white parts look like this. This is this sort of like metallic-y pink color, and then you've got what the green parts go into, which is this metallic dark red color. And the gold or yellow parts become this almost deep orange color. And every part in here seems to be metallic injected in some way. You've got, again, the shield parts here, which are in this red color. Did that focus? I don't know. And then even these, which are the runners for the undersuit, or like the main body of the suit, is kind of like this shiny, speckly gray-black color. You probably can't tell on camera, but it's definitely a darker shade of gray than would be normally used for a 00 Gundam undersuit, or main tech suit under the colored pieces of armor. Okay, here is the Jin from Gundam Seed, a 2021 kit, which might be the most recent kit in these videos, probably up there with some of the others for sure from 2019, 2020. But there we go. There is the Jin, one of the main kind of antagonist general mobile suits from Gundam Seed. It's kind of like an updated, modernized version of the Zaku with the mono eye. And we have some normal stickers here with, interestingly, a long string of numbers. These are some pretty cool parts in orange. And then most looks like everything else is either this paler blue or this darker blue in here. That is cool. And this is pitch black. This is like a really dark piece of, I guess, for the main tech suit, undersuit of the mobile suit. The Jin. And we have the Sinanju Stein. Now, you saw in the unboxing earlier that I do have a normal Sinanju to unbox a little later in this section as well. But I start with the Stein because I'm trying to go in kind of the same order I unboxed them from the main cardboard boxes earlier in the video. But I will talk about this. You see, this is probably one of the most damaged boxes you'll see in this video. It's got a pretty big dent in it. There was one of the I think it was a Dynames box that I got from the China order, which had a similar but slightly less bad dink in it. But that isn't too bad in the grand scheme of things, and it wasn't that expensive of a kit. And again, it's only the box, and I could probably dink that back out. If I tried hard enough, I could probably push that back out and flatten it and make it look mostly okay again in the cardboard section. But everything inside is luckily, you know, in plastic bags and has been pretty well preserved. So that's okay. And this is the original version of Sinanju Stein. This isn't the one that is from, I believe it's in NT, right? Where it shows up again. It's more like a sort of dark grey sort of colour. So yeah, and there we go. Very cool looking suit. I think it'll be look nice posed next to the normal Sinanju and the Unicorn. We got some of the parts here. And we have, of course, it's a Verkar kit, so that we have our water slides right here. And you've got those very posable but somewhat finicky master grade hands there as well. Okay. Again, if you don't care too much about the condition of your boxes and like you're just going to build these kits, I think getting pretty cheap discounted kits from secondhand stores in Japan or from Yahoo auctions in Japan is a really great way of saving a little bit of money, especially if you're going to buy in bulk, because if you're importing them from abroad like I am, the more you buy, the less when you divide between those kits, your customs and import charges and such are going to add up to, which is really good. Okay, second to last from this box is the Zaku Cannon. Probably, in my opinion, the weirdest of the Zaku designs. Let me just take this top part of the box off and then I'll rotate it up and show you what it looks like. It is a bizarre looking design, but I thought this is a kit that I think will look pretty good with a bit of weathering on it. Especially because it's already these sorts of colors. But I will say, I am not a fan of its design in almost any way. So maybe I'll also just blow it up or something and do a bunch of damage on it. We shall see. But the parts are fairly well detailed, so I imagine this is a somewhat newer kit. Let's have a look. 2008. Oh, it's not that new. I always find it weird when you get mechanical or moving parts, like screws or anything like that in these kits. But there we go. That is the Zaku Cannon, a weird kit that I'm looking forward to weathering up and doing a little bit of damage to, maybe. And here we are, the final box from the second of the final 3 boxes that I unboxed earlier today, which was earlier in the video, is the High New Gundam. I think I prefer this one's design and color layout to the normal. I'm literally looking at my new Gundam right now, just right over there. I think I do prefer this. So there we go. I think these parts, so these gradient parts that you see here are stickers, which I didn't know. But when I opened up the box earlier, it looked like those were stickers, which may need to be painted instead. But we shall see. So here is the manual. So yeah, this is very interesting. It's showing you that these stickers do go on. Mostly it looks like the funnels right here is where they go. So this front section opens up. We get some really cool looking designs, and it says you can put one of the green LEDs, which I do have a few spare from my 00 kits, up in the headpiece to make those eyes glow green. And what else do we have in here? So we have the advertisement for the HWS. You can see first form, second form. There's some more stuff on the back, which is pretty interesting how they're showing that off, actually. The different shield designs and different uses. I absolutely hate this shield design. I don't know what they were thinking with this. It's like almost like polka dot. What is going on with that? Right there. Bizarre. Absolutely bizarre. And then here are all the stickers. And I think all of these are water slides. I mean, it's a Verkar kit, but I have no idea how you would water slide these and if the ends of them are transparent or not. I'm assuming they would be, because the sticker can just be transparent, so it would gradient into the color of the piece that you're putting it onto. But there we go. And you can see some of the purple color here. It's very bluey purple, like a deep blue purple, which is really, really nice in here, which is really great. I have one of these for the normal new Gundam that I'm looking at right there, if I can pronounce it, new Gundam. And yeah, you've got all the stuff. It looks like it's the exact same base design, which is pretty cool. And then what else do we have here? We have some blue beam sabers, which is very cool. And put all of these back in here. Very, very cool. I am excited to build this one for sure, but I'm going to check out some videos specifically on what people did with their water slides for this one. Okay, we are on to the last section of boxes now. This is from the final box that I opened at the beginning of the video. And this is, of course, the MG Barbatos. One of my most anticipated kits, and I've just been really excited to start this one. I've got two of these. I'll be doing a custom and an out-of-box sort of color scheme. You can see it right there. I adore the Barbatos from season 1 of Iron-Blooded Orphans. I think it is an incredible suit. I'm currently making my way through season 2, so I've currently only met the Lupus version so far, but I haven't met Lupus Rex just yet. But the price of this one should have been just up on the screen, but I got this pretty cheap. So I got a couple of these, obviously, but I got this one specifically pretty cheap because I got it in a double pack with the expansion parts from P Bandai right here. So these came in a set together, and obviously the price, I just halved and applied the price to each one. So it's the same price technically, but I suppose you could give like maybe 500 yen more to this and take it away from this. Either way, both kits are still fairly cheap when you divide that auction in half, so it's a pretty good deal. We'll go over both of these in this section, but let me start with Barbatos and then we'll dive in to the expansion parts. The manual straight away here with some cool poses. You can see Mikazuki down here. A few different ways to paint up Mikazuki if you really want to, and a pose of the full Barbatos on the back. And then we have a bunch of cool things. So you can see the gun that he kind of underslings with one arm, the mace, the sword. That's really, really cool to see. And then all the runners and all of the different building parts. So it actually starts you off with the chest unit, which is a pretty complicated chest unit on all of these Iron-Blooded Orphans kits. Well, actually, I don't know if there are any others for Master Grade yet, but I would love to see some of the other suits from Iron-Blooded Orphans make it to Master Grade. But the actual torso section of the mobile suits in Iron-Blooded Orphans is quite complicated. It has like moving pistons and stuff, which is, I'm guessing, what these are used for. These are the silver metal parts, which actually look pretty good. They could be a little shinier, but that's not too bad actually for that sort of presentation from these. So we got stickers in here, just standard stickers. We've got the giant V-fin, which is really, really nice. Beautiful. And what else do we have? Some green parts, nice red color division there. I will probably paint a lot of these gold as well. And then we have these sort of like bronzy gold colored parts right here, and some clear red parts. No other leaflets or paper in here. So we'll do that. But let me dive into the expansion parts as well. To one side. And then we'll look into the expansion part. So there you can see on the side right here, shows you all the stuff in here. So you've got the, I don't know if this is a type of mace or some sort of other, you know, cool weapon, but I remember he uses this when they're first back, I think it's when they're first back on Earth. And he just picks this up and he does some great fights with it. It's like when they're on that island. It's very, very cool. And then you actually get some of the mobile workers in here, and you get some of the different shoulder pieces and stuff in here, which is very, very cool. So I've got lots of Takadan logos, including some kind of worn down, weathered ones. Interestingly, they give you damage as decals in this. Now these are water slides, I should say, so these are pretty interesting as a different piece of decal system, but damage, like scratches and scuffs and bullet marks as decals is pretty weird. So they're mostly the parts for the giant mace, which I'm going to keep calling a mace. There's some sort of pad here which looks like foam or something like that. And we have more parts, mobile worker parts right here. It's really cool to see mobile workers. And just more parts to build up all these different versions. But let's grab the manual, which was right down here at the bottom. Take a quick look in this fairly short manual. I imagine there's not a huge amount in here. But so this here is showing you what you can do to build the different forms. Oh, that's really cool. So it actually shows you how to build every form up to the 6th form right here. That is quite impressive. So first form, which is basically just bare Barbatos with no shoulder armor. Then you have second form, which has got those kind of chunky bolt shoulders on it that kind of look very square. And then third form, which is very similar, but I think has some sort of additional weapon to it, like attached to one of the arms. And then fourth form is the one you get in the MG kit normally. And then you have fifth form, which is some new kind of wrist and back, like lower like back section, like attached to the legs. And then you have fifth form, so it's the same form again but ground type, so I think you get different feet for that one, and you get of course the big mace or whatever that thing is. And then sixth form, which has the new shoulders and a bunch of other stuff added on top. So let's have a look at third form here to see what that adds. So it adds this, this sort of weapon on the back. And we can see the different versions. So yeah, these are the original second form shoulders, which are like blue, kind of chunky geometric shapes. And then the fifth form has these different feet, and the sixth form has the kind of more sleek shoulders and the covered chest. Very cool. Very, very exciting to have a couple of those expansion sets. And that was a cool kind of deep dive. Barbatos, as you can probably tell, I'm very excited to build, which will be no doubt coming up in the future on the channel if you're interested. And we have Sinanju Stein. I did just have to change the battery in the camera as well. I've been recording for so long today that I think I've gone through 3 batteries now, so it just goes to show. This would be about a 5-hour long video if I didn't actually edit it down. And you check now the timeline, it just says, oh, it's 4 hours, 30 minutes. It shouldn't be that long. Let's hope. Anyway, Sinanju Stein is here. We looked at Sinanju Stein earlier, but here is its full frontal overhaul. And you can see in the manual right here how it will look, and building of the different parts, which are probably the beam axes, right? Yeah, so those are the parts I saw earlier. And if we go all the way over to the beginning, some cool imagery of it right here. And then we have the beam axe parts right here, which are really cool. And there's also some more right here. This one actually fell off its runner right here, if you can see. Fell off its runner, but it's not damaged or anything. It's just this bottom piece and the side piece came off, which is fine. We have some clear, almost like yellow-green parts right here on the top. Okay, and then some nice orange pieces. And you can see those green pieces now. And then obviously the disappointing thing with parts which have a lot of gold like this one does is they give you them as stickers. Now, they look like pretty good gold stickers. You can see them behind there, look. This is obviously the main water slide section right here on top. I'm assuming it's water slide because it's Verka. And I guess these might just be normal stickers. So you've got these right here, which seem to be gold stripes, but then you have these here which seem to be gold stickers. It's very confusing. I'm sure the manual will explain more. These are the boosters on the back. Some more parts. Is this red the same? It looks to be about the same. I was wondering if this was slightly darker. It's not. Some more red parts. Some lightish grey colouring for the inside, which looks a lot like Sinanju Stein's colouring. And we are getting pretty close. The pile has only got 3 kits, I should say, left in it. And we have the blue frame Astray D, which is a very cool looking kit. I love the orange on this. It's very, very nice. But there we go. That is what it looks like. Let's have a look inside the manual real quick. We got some colored pages in the middle? We do. Again, like I said earlier, a lot of my Astrays that I'll be building will have big swords, and they'll all be red. So I thought I'd get this one, which doesn't have a giant sword like one of the other blue frames you can get, but it has these really cool orange pieces, like daggers and all that sort of stuff, which is very cool. And we can see the blue is quite dominant, I would say, in this, but the orange is a really, really nice orange. It's not some sort of like yellowy orange or anything. It's just a very bright orange. I don't know how visible this is, so I'll turn my light down. It's a very dark, gloomy day here, so that's about it. All okay. A lot of gray and a lot of blue and a lot of white parts, as you would expect from the Astray. But I do have to kind of speed things up a little bit here towards the end because this video is going to be long. Zaku Warrior, another really recent kit from 2019. This is another seed kit. Very thin box again. You can see this is the design of the kit. I really, really like the backpack on this guy, where it's kind of asymmetrical. Asymmetric designs are something that I feel like there aren't enough Gundams that do that, but it's probably why I like asymmetric designs as often as they can be a thing. So this is the kind of finished suit on the back of the manual. This is referred to as the Zaku Warrior 𝐂𝐻𝐿 Custom. I'm just going to call this the Zaku Warrior 𝐂𝐻𝐿 Custom because I'm never going to be able to pronounce that name. And you can see the red is not quite bright red, like a blood red or dark red. It's almost like if you had the color red and then dipped it in a tiny little bit of pink or something, but it's not like a very pinkish color in any way. We have some white pieces, some black pieces. It seems like most of the undersuit is this sort of black color right here. The inner frame is all this sort of black color, red color as well. And we got some more dark red, black and red parts. And then this stuff is from the backpack, this sort of off gray color. And there's also with the A runner here, red, dark red, this sort of pinky, peach off white color, and a clear part as well there at the bottom. The runners are laid out and they look, you can really tell which are the recent suits and which are the old suits. And here it is, the final kit of the video. And actually the last time we had a kit this big in camera, I think was probably the FAZZ or the XS Gundam or the MGEX way earlier in the video. So I am going to have to zoom out. There we go, that's mostly in. That should do. Let's get into this kit. And yeah, that looks pretty good on camera now that it's open. You can kind of see everything in here. So Sazabi, this is a big, hefty manual. This is a big kit. It's just an insane looking kit. What a beautiful, beautiful mobile suit. And I'm really glad I'm getting some more of these antagonist suits now because I've never had any. I've always only had like the protagonist suits. So I'm really glad I'm getting some of these other suits. And there is the, the labeling system for all the decals and such. Because it's a Vercar, it's going to have a pretty big sheet of water slides, but we can only see the back of them in here. You can kind of see them here as well. They aren't that many, but luckily I think you get a lot of the yellow parts in actual pieces in here. So like these parts and such aren't stickers like Sazabi with the gold parts has kind of got different layers. So this is kind of a silvery sort of metallic finish, and then this is more of the flat gray finish. That looks like the shield, which is also huge. It's bigger than my hand, and that's just a shield without the red plating on it. And then we get pretty deep down here and you see just some very vibrant and huge looking, which looks like beam axe, and these could be beam saber effect parts. It has been a great experience just opening all of these, and hopefully you guys have enjoyed it too. Can you believe we've made it through over 40 kits? You probably can, although I don't imagine there's many people who have watched the full video. If you did make it all the way through and watch all of this from the unboxings to these deeper dives, then thank you very much. So as a little outro here, the next section of the video is going to be a desk showcase, so you can get to see where I work, an updated one. I know there was one way earlier in the video before we dove into this kind of desk setup, but that was from May. It's now, well, it's June 23rd when this video comes out, which is actually my birthday, my 29th birthday, so yeah, hopefully get this out in time. I'm recording this section just earlier that same week. It's getting pretty late now, actually. But it's, you know, I wanted to just say thank you if you did stick around to this far in the video, and hopefully the chapters were useful if you jumped around and checked out different sections. So for me, the next plan for video content is really to start on the custom stuff. So I've got something called the Zaku Survivor I want to build, which is going to be a pretty battle-worn version of a Zaku, which has kind of been upgraded and has scavenged parts from other fallen Zaku over numerous battles. It's one of the few, in my head, this is my own lore, it's a Zaku unit that has survived a lot of battles with the Federation, and it's managed to, you know, cobble together different parts. So not a lot of the parts match. Some of them are more damaged than others. Some are from different colors. So they're, you know, it's all kind of mishmashed together. And that's kind of my first plan for a Zaku build. And then after that, I'm going to start with the Tallgeese Shadow. This is going to be a series of 5 suits I do in this shadow color scheme, which is dark grays, blacks mixed with a bit of light gray, and then a primary metallic color for each of them. So some will be green, some will be blue, some will be red, and they'll all kind of group together to make some sort of cool squad at the end, hopefully. But Tallgeese is going to be my first test of that, so we'll see how that turns out. But I think that's pretty much it. I don't think I have anything else to show you other than a desk showcase. And then at the very end, you'll see a special kind of all-together showcase of every single box I unboxed in this video, presented in a really cool, hopefully cool looking way. But that is it from me. I guess this is goodbye for now. And if you made it this far in the video, thank you for watching. And I'll see you guys next time.